I got a later start on the day than anticipated. However, the extra hours of rest were much needed. Packing up camp took no extra work, and I was off. Headed north initially, but then back towards the west once again. I was just cruising along towards Scylla or something like that, Florida, on Highway 257, and I just saw a huge turtle trying to cross the road. Let's go check it out. What's up, killer? Huh? You want to get across this road? I bet I could help you across this road. It's probably going to just head right back across the same road and get splattered, but did what I could. It's pretty sweet. I've never picked up a spiny soft shell like that. Or at least I assume it was a spiny soft shell. It had bumps on its back. And that's where I'm getting at. Pretty sweet though. Onward. So check this out. I stumbled onto a fantastic free camping site. Little did I know that by the end of my stay at Goose Pasture, thanks largely in part to the Mosquitoes, it'd be one of the worst stops of the trip. Alright, well, it's finally time to talk about some of the stuff that I purchased. We'll start off with jalapeno cheddar Cheetos because they are so delicious. Even though it's not food, I bought some aluminum foil so I can cook over a fire or use it as a scrubby pad if I need to. Vegetable oil for frying up the fish. Well, I picked up today at the Winn-Dixie the Chachere's Creole season, $2.50 for all this. Hopefully I won't consume this the whole trip. Got some bread for making sandwiches, like the delicious Cheetos sandwich that I just had for lunch. I had a Cheetos and lettuce sandwich. This is going to be a little bit of my roughage. Of course, I'm continually buying fresh drinking water. I bought a can of ravioli just in case I do get skunked when I'm fishing out there. I always want to be prepared. I bought some of Louisiana's Pure Bayou Heat hot sauce. Never had it. Hoping it's decent. Kind of picky about these things. I got some can of beans for some protein. A couple cans of corn muffin mix. No, I'm not going to make muffins, at least yet. I have considered it, but I don't have any eggs or anything like that. I don't want to keep ice in the cooler, so basically I got these for breading fish. It's a real nice way to bread fish in the cornmeal mix. Gives it a finer taste than if you just did it in yellow cornmeal or something. Bought a Snickers just in case I need a boost of energy, and of course the package of ramen noodles. $1.88 for these guys, and these are going to feed me for a while. So there you have it. The mystery's over. This is what I bought. I'm expecting this to basically last me, except for the water, which I'll buy almost every day, probably another 3 days or so, depending on the fishing. Speaking of which, since we got camp set up, it's nice, laid back. I mean, I don't have to really worry about going anywhere. It's about 1 o'clock. I've already got my 150 miles in for the day. I say we hit that water and see what we can pull out. Let's get ready. The broad, clear river was unlike any I'd seen before. 100 yards wide and barely a paddle deep, even in the channel, with grass rising to the top over 90% of it. I don't know if you can see all these skeeters buzzing around me, but I'm about ready to get out of here. Just as with the Santa Fe, the bass remained a mystery, as cast after cast, and lure after lure, I was denied even a bite to urge me on. In the distance, I could hear the roar of an airboat navigating one of the several small channels that had broken off upstream. Sure enough, it was headed up mine. That was insane. I have never been caught in the back spray of an airboat before. Nuts. Day 2. Ah. Get this water going here. I'm doing some dishes. My grandpa's old stove. Speaking of which, that'd actually be a pretty good time to tell you about kind of how I got this idea to do this whole thing. What happened was I was on my way back from fishing one day with a buddy of mine, and the idea just kind of hit me. I was driving the old truck here, which actually is my grandpa's old truck. He passed away the first year of my master's degree when I was getting it, and I inherited his old truck. He'd already given me his canoe, which is the canoe that I'm bringing. This is his old stove here, and really this journey's kind of in his spirit. I mean, he was always kind of tight with his money, so that plays into the whole $750 a day thing. He was an avid outdoorsman. He passed that on to my dad, who in turn passed that down to me, and I was lucky enough to get a chance to do some things with my grandpa before he passed away. And I really think that this is kind of carrying on something for him, you know? I have a feeling that he's looking down and smiling about this trip.
That night, the moisture made it hard to keep the fire going, and the mosquitoes made it hard to keep my red blood cell count up.
It's midnight. These people are still running their generator next to me. I've probably sustained about 50 mosquito bites trying to sleep in here. I've tried sleeping with my head net on, tried sleeping under my shirt, tried sleeping under a towel, and this shit is ridiculous.